All right. So once again, thank you for joining this episode of Lunch Break Learning with Coach Shaquan. I am so excited again for another week. I was just explaining to those who are watching live on Instagram and in the break room on Zoom, hey, that I wasn't sure what this topic was going to be or what I was going to talk about this week, but I'm really excited. So let me just introduce myself for those who may or may not be familiar with me. My name is Coach Shaquan, and I study how people communicate, connect, and show up in personal and professional relationships. And as a certified life and relationship coach with receipts, yes, all receipts, yes, invoices, receipts, bills, all that. I got it. And going through this certification program, I've learned a lot of things that have helped me to put together this transformational coaching framework called Check Your BS, where BS stands for belief system or whatever has you stuck in a pattern of thinking or way of doing that doesn't allow you to reach your goals or move forward or let go of something or someone. I always like to put that in there because we like to linger on in relationships, intimate relationships, friendships, um, situationships, careers, things that we hang on to. And so today's topic is, are you satisfied in your suffering? Wait, what you mean? Wait, hold on. Why would somebody be satisfied in their suffering? Well, let me tell you how. I have come to realize, and tell me if you recognize this to be truth or not. And I'll just tell from my personal experience because I'm big on truth and transparency. There was a time in my life when I was what I describe faking happiness. Okay. Um, Before like Instagram and I should say before social media really jumped off, and it was really an escape route of some sort to help people to believe the perception that you had, like that you were doing okay, that things were going well. Yeah, I was really good at faking happiness. And what it looked like was we had our marriage looked good, motherhood looked good. There was, joy in conversations that I was having when we left the house. We looked good. Everything looked really, really good. And I was able to be in conversation with people, or whether it was at work, whether it was in friendships, again, or just shooting the breeze with family, right? It just was this thing where I did not know how to express that I was not okay, nor did I think that it was okay to say that I was not okay. And so it became this place of me, again, faking happiness, faking like everything was okay, and then somehow becoming satisfied in this cycle of, while I was suffering, yet being able to be satisfied with how the outcome or the result of the outcome. Okay. And I'm going to explain a little bit more about this. And I'm hoping you can see this picture. And for some, it may resonate with some. Is like, nah, coach, that is not my testimony. And some, you may be able to see this reflection in other people. So I want to start off by talking about energy. Again, I say this all the time. I'm very repetitive in the things that I say because they be truth. Okay. So a lot of people talk about energy. I'm here to teach you about it. So there are two types of energy that describe how we show up and really define our thought action pattern. So the first one's called anabolic energy. Anabolic energy is healing, constructive, and success focused. When we're feeling our best, when we're doing our best, our body releases these hormones and say, hey, we want more of that. And so it helps to produce more fulfillment, more joy, more peace, more success and focus and creativity, and the things that really make you feel like you're doing your best, you're being your best. When you are not faking, when it is the truth, right? It exudes this anabolic energy, and energy is transferable. You can really feel that. And on the other side, it's catabolic energy. Ugh. And I like to kind of droop my shoulders down and like really go down to a very low octave and say catabolic energy. Because catabolic energy is draining, destructive, and it is fear-based. And so when our bodies are under stress, our mind says, hey, we got to do something. And so it releases these chemicals that begin to come down, and it eats away at the healthy cells. And so all you're left with are like the headaches and the backaches and the stress and the anxiety, the worry, the fear, the overwhelmment, those things that really make you feel like you have the weight of the world on your shoulder. And catabolic energy is one of those things that uh, people have gotten so used to living with catabolic energy that they don't recognize that it is actually hurting them and in some sorts killing them, right? Stress kills, like really kills. And so when we're thinking about catabolic and anabolic energy and this whole conversation around are you satisfied in your suffering, I want to give you some definitions here. So satisfied, meaning feeling content or fulfilled um, with your current situation, even if it's not ideal, you're just satisfied with it, right? It implies a sense of accepting or acceptance without a drive to change or improve the circumstances, right? It is what it is. We can be satisfied, right? And so even when I talk about needs and wants, needs are those things that we can get by at a minimum level of satisfaction, right? So it's not bad, it's not good, it's not the best. It's just okay. Suffering is this state of distress or pain or hardship. And it can show up in physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, and it can truly manifest or show up in several different ways. Frustration, helplessness, um, this discomfort, right? Suffering really is feeling stuck, feeling like there's no opportunity or there's no way out. And so, this concept of being satisfied in the suffering means that we have become so comfortable within the discomfort that we are experiencing that we don't realize that there's not another opportunity or there's not a way out. And so, being satisfied in the suffering, right? It shows up in a way where we can say, I love this. I say this all the time, right? You're really settling, yet you say you're sacrificing. Oh, I'm making all these sacrifices. No, ma'am. No, sir. You are settling. Okay. It happens when you are coping, yet you say that you're compromising. No, I'm going to compromise. This happens really, really a lot. We see it in the workplace, right? Or I should say in the bedroom and the boardroom. So let's talk about it being in the bedroom. There are often times when we think that we're sacrificing or we are compromising in our relationships, in our marriages, and we're really settling for less than we desire, less than we deserve, less than we believe we are worth. And for whatever reason, right? No right, wrong, good, or bad. It's something that happens. Or we can be coping, right? And coping is putting up with things or kind of sitting in something, dealing with it in some sorts, and then we call it compromise, right? Not the same. And then again, I said dealing with it. Sometimes we are dealing with it, and yet we say that we're doing the best that we can. Have you heard people say that, or have you experienced that? So I'm doing the best I can. I'm doing the best I can. Well, sometimes doing the best you can results in you being satisfied in the suffering. There's no desire to do anything different. There's no opportunity for you to rise above the pain points or the places where you are suffering, right? Distressed, hardship in your physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual self, because you've become so satisfied in this, so feeling of content. This whole thought of it is what it is happens when you're in that place of being satisfied with the suffering. So here's a question, because I like to give y'all a journal prompt, right? On a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being the highest, how satisfied are you in your suffering? Wait, wait, coach. Who says I'm doing that? Okay, so all might need to apply. This might not be applicable to you. However, there is an opportunity for you to look at, am I really coping when I think I'm compromising? Am I really settling when I say that I'm sacrificing? Am I dealing with things really and yet telling myself that I'm doing the best that I can? So are you truly satisfied with the suffering that's happening? Have you accepted what's going on in your life, where you are in your life, where you are in your marriage, where you are in your career, where you are in just how life be lifing? Because that's what we be saying. Have you really accepted this as normal? There's a place where we have learned, right, in the belief systems that have been created. And okay, so was it last week before last? Okay, because we're on like episode 17 right now, I believe. Don't quote me, somewhere around there. One of the past episodes was how or are you stuck in your BS? And I really broke down the transformational coaching process of checking your belief system. Again, it is not a tagline. It is not something that's cute. It is truly a process. And when implemented, when learned, practiced, and implemented, you truly can shift your mind from these draining, destructive, catabolic thoughts into a more anabolic, healing, constructive, and success focus. And really watch how your thought action pattern shifts you from the place of suffering to success, where you're able to rise above the noise or get out of the box. Y'all remember me talking about the box, that dark place that we sometimes go to, which is the lowest level of catabolic thinking. And so, again, thinking about, are you satisfied in your suffering? Have you become so used to the way that the pain feels, or the disappointments feel, or the letdowns, right? Or the stress or the rejection or the overwhelming? Have you become so used to that that you don't even recognize that you were truly satisfied in the suffering? Hmm. I like to think that people truly are doing the best that they know how. Or let me go back. I like to think that people are doing the best that they can. Okay. When you see people who are struggling or they are suffering or they are not living up to their true worth and their true potential, because this is what it's really about. This isn't about really saying, hey, there are people that are out there doing bad and they just gonna be bad. No, there are sometimes people don't realize that they have more to offer because they cannot rise above or get out of themselves out of the box, because every time they do, things turn out to be just as bad or even worse. So let me just do what I know how to do. Let me stay where I am. And I will struggle in this space and I will suffer in this space, and that reward myself when I complete a job or complete a task or reach a goal. Okay. So what does that look like? Because there are people who are truly uh they love the catabolic life. They love the stress and the anxiety and the worry. And let me tell you how it can really show up, which this is the thing. We don't always see ourselves in these places, like these topics that we talk about. And it really sounds bad. Like I'm not suffering. Remember, I started this off and I said I used to fake happiness. You could not have paid me a quarter, a nickel, a dime to believe that I was faking happiness, because I had become so accustomed to it, thinking that this is the way that it always will be. I'm doing the best that I can. And then I would reward myself when I made it through that challenge, right? How does it show up in the workplace? You wait to the last minute to complete projects. You know, think about this. How often do you say, I work better under pressure? It's a journal prompt. How often, let's say scale of 1 to 5, 5 being the highest, how often do you think and or believe that you work better under pressure? Okay. Your girl, coach would, okay. You say I gotta tell the truth. Okay. So I in the past would have said, oh, I work better under pressure. Like it is something about that adrenaline rush that comes that makes me perform better, right? If I know I have a deadline of Friday, I'm not gonna start working on it till Wednesday. Why? Well, I was distracted. I had other things to do. We could say that, it was procrastination or sometimes overthinking. Check, there's a masterclass on YouTube for that. It's a solution for that. Your procrastination. You're really resisting. Did you hear me? Let me say it again. It's really resistance. Okay, but you gotta go take the class. I'll teach you all about it. But we really get into these places where we believe that we produce the best work under pressure. Okay. I got someone in the break room that says that is me all the time. Yes, I work better under pressure. I used to say that. But really, what we're doing is building up that catabolic energy, that draining, destructive, fear based energy. And we become so satisfied through the suffering of it because the outcome, we get it done. Right. See, that's not the thing. We're going to get the work done. The goal will be completed, right? The project will be met and it's going to be bomb, right? Let me have a presentation and I'm supposed to do it on Friday. I'm going to start Thursday night. Okay, maybe Thursday afternoon. Let me give myself some credit. And then Friday, when I do that presentation, it is going to be bomb. No one in the room is going to know that I was up to 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning completing this said project because I had become so satisfied in the suffering of it. I like to suffer through, take myself through that because I told myself this lie that I work better under pressure. So if you are intentional to wait to the last minute, to continue to tell yourself that I work better under pressure. Yes, I said a comment here on Instagram. Yes, girl, 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 girl. The exhaustion, right? Because that is how catabolic energy works. And then you don't have the capacity to really experience the joy and the reward and the satisfaction, minimum level, right? Feeling content, feeling fulfilled. We don't get to enjoy that because of the exhaustion of pushing everything and waiting until the last minute. So again, I ask, are you satisfied in your suffering? And I can tell you how many times we then go and say, girl, right? Or you're talking to a coworker or somebody and be like, I got that done. I did that. Yes, high five. I did that. Yeah, with stress, with anxiety, with overwhelm, with all of the frustration, the exhaustion that comes from that. Think about it. That is eating away at your healthy cells. It's eating away at your, think about how much pressure that is on the heart, how much pressure that is on the mind. Now I got to think of all these things, now all the worry, all of that that happens, yet we go and reward ourselves again with a high five because we got it done. Okay, break room. Okay. I'm getting the emoji to smack the face, to smack the head emoji in the break room. Yes. And it's not just you. I've done it before. And there are sometimes where I default to this place of suffering, right? Or being satisfied in the suffering because I simply say it'll get done. So here are 3 signs that you may be satisfied in your suffering. Okay. You begin to, one, rationalize the pain. Again, it is what it is. Everybody deals with stuff differently. Or people always do this. It's not the worst, right? It could be worse. I'm not as bad off. And you use that to avoid taking action and improving the situation or making those necessary changes that would actually benefit you. Because what would it really look like if you had more time to relax, to rest, to simply be? We don't always have to be doing, right? I just had a reminder. And I shared this in I think the last episode or maybe the one before that, that I hired a coach, Dr. Shamika Dean, and she was telling me and just reminding me on this concept of how we are always doing. We're always doing. Doing is movement, right? How often do we spend time being present, being happy, right? Being joyful, just being. Instead, I'm doing a visual for the people that are watching me here. This is our life, and this is our brain, and this is everything, right? We're just constantly doing it. Stop. Now you have become satisfied in the suffering. You're rationalizing the pain. And from an energy perspective, so I do this energy assessment. It's called the Energy Leadership Assessment. It is like life changing. Okay. Hello. Holla at me if you want to learn more. This energy assessment, and it gives you your energy and how you show up on these 7 levels of energy, ranging from 100% catabolic, draining, destructive, fear-based, up to 100% anabolic, which is 100% healing, constructive, and success focused. And it monitors your energy levels on day to day. So how you show up day to day. Things are going the way that they usually go. It gives you a percentage of the levels of energy that you're using, and then it also measures how your energy shows up in these percentages on these 7 levels when you're under stress. Okay, and so rationalizing pain becomes what we call a level 3, where you sweep things under the rug. It is what it is. You cope, you tolerate, right? Because you just want to get what you need to get done. It is what it is. I don't have time to worry. I don't have time to stress. Just let me get what I need to get done. But in the background, that stress is still there. That worry, that overwhelmment, that that coping, that settling, that tolerating, it's all still there. And then at the end of the day, you look back and now you feel resentful, and now you're angry, and now you are in that place of being, again, the word came up as it being exhausted because you have nothing else to give. And so you don't have the capacity, right, to show up as your authentic self, to be your best in the bedroom, the boardroom, and everywhere in between because you're tired. Okay. I have a comment here on Instagram that says, stillness makes one get to actually know oneself. Absolutely. Being still gives you the opportunity to be present with yourself and get to know yourself. What do you like? What do you dislike? What are you thinking? Now you can pay attention to how often your mind goes to uh, catabolic thoughts versus anabolic thoughts. Are you satisfied in the suffering? Are you feeling sorry for yourself? Are you beating yourself up? Are you not recognizing your worth? Right? Yet we're so busy doing and rationalizing the pain. Yeah, you satisfied in your suffering. Hmm. 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 Okay, so the second sign that you may be satisfied in your suffering, you avoid change. You resist new opportunities. You don't want to have personal growth because you are afraid of leaving your air quote comfort zone. Because, okay, there was another episode of Lunch Break Learning that we had talked about. Are you really in your comfort zone? Because, see, by definition, the word comfort means to be at ease, to be free from distraction and pain, to have joy and fulfillment and freedom. So we keep saying we're in a comfort zone. The lies you tell, name that zone. What is it really? A stress zone, a worry zone, an avoiding zone? So we avoid change for several reasons. Mm. Because we have mastered who we are in this moment, in this time. You've mastered the process of being satisfied in your suffering. You've mastered how you do things, waiting to the last minute, exerting all of this catabolic energy. You've mastered doing. And so to have to change that, I don't want to do that because now I have to go back and redefine myself. I have to unlearn and learn. I don't want to do that. And so we avoid the change for fear of the unknown when we also claim that we have faith. And isn't faith kind of the unknown, right? Like you kind of, okay, just help me out. Because if we have faith, oh, okay, y'all go back and okay, I'm gonna let y'all do that. Okay. But really having faith is really embracing the unknown, trusting that everything is going to work out in the good or for your greater good because we trust what the word says. Yet you avoid the change, and we say that we have a fear of the unknown simply because we don't want to get rid of the person that we have become. The person that we are currently being may not truly be the person that God has created you to be. See, you're satisfied in your suffering and you've landed at this space, and the fear of what could happen stops us. So again, you resist those new opportunities. Well, I don't know what's going to happen. Well, and you come up with all of these reasons. Okay, so here's a journal prompt. What new opportunities are you avoiding? Whatever it looks like. What new opportunities are you avoiding? Oh, coach, I don't know. I don't know. And that's another problem. If you don't know the opportunities that you're avoiding, you may be satisfied in your suffering. And then the third sign that you may be satisfied in your suffering, you are a constant complainer. Wait, what? I don't complain. When you frequently express your frustration or your dislike about something, then you complain. I don't like this. Oh, why I gotta do this? Oh, why does that happen? Oh, this. Oh. Mm. We complain about our weight. We complain about not eating right. We complain about our spouses. We complain about our finances. We complain about our jobs. We complain about our friends. We do all of this when you are satisfied in your suffering because there has been nothing solution based in those complaints because it's impossible. Can you really have a solution in your complaining? And let's be clear, complaining is a character trait. Okay. I don't have this. I want this. You want more, yet you're doing less. Come on, somebody. You want more, yet you are doing less. So, yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. You are completely satisfied in your suffering. All right, coach. Now you done ripped us a new one. Okay. And in the copy, when I said there are some truths that may be revealed that you may not even be aware of. So what can I do? Okay. You told me, you done basically told me I'm over here thinking I'm satisfied. I'm sacrificing. And you done told me I'm settling. I'm thinking I'm compromising. And you done told me I'm coping. And I thought I was doing the best that I could. And you didn't told me that I'm dealing with stuff. Like, hold on. Okay. All right, coach. Well, what can we do? How can we shift from suffering to success? Now, this isn't one of the three. Let me just make this very clear. Success is a personally defined thing. So part of your being satisfied in the suffering is that you're looking at someone else's success and then already talking, you're bailing out before you buy into what success looks like for you. Okay? Success may just be getting up in the morning. Success may be something very simple as just taking some small deep breaths. Again, that whole doing process that I got to be doing something, I got to be busy and I always got to be producing. No, you can be productive by being. Be present. Okay? So define what success looks like for you. And then here are the three things that you can do to shift from your suffering to your success. Number one, you got to acknowledge that you are discomfort in the discomfort. I am discomfortable. I am going to stop rationalizing and minimizing this pain. Pain is normal. Okay. It is inevitable. We will all experience pain somewhere, bedroom, boardroom, everywhere in between. You can't avoid pain. Suffering is optional. We do not have to suffer. And so be honest with yourself about what's not working. Again, we don't look at, in Coach Shaquan world, my clients know, we don't look at good, bad, right, or wrong. All of those are subjective. What may be good for you may not be good for me. What may be bad for me may not be bad for you. So good, bad, right, and wrong are subjective. Let's check our BS, check the belief systems that we've created about judging things as good, right, bad, and wrong. What did I say? Good, bad, yeah. Wait, what is it? Right, wrong, good, and bad. Is that what I said? Okay. Stay with me. Stay focused. Well, we really want to focus on what works. Is it working? Right? Good, bad, right, and wrong are subjective. Do what works. And how is what you're doing impacting you? Is it leading you to these anabolic, healing, constructive, success focused outcomes? Or the work that you're doing has become very catabolic, draining, destructive, fear based, which leads you to being satisfied in the suffering. So self awareness and self accountability become that foundation for change. Okay. The second thing that you can do to shift from your suffering to success, take small yet bold steps. You can start by making just small, significant changes, and you can break this cycle of suffering, right? Setting a boundary, pursuing a new opportunity, even waking up and giving yourself words of affirmation. Tell yourself a different story than this draining, destructive, fear based one that you've been continuously telling yourself. Okay. I see a comment here on Instagram that says, hey, you want more, yet you are doing less. Yes, that is a whole word. You don't have the capacity to receive what you're asking for. So you become satisfied in this suffering to stay in this little place of playing small, of feeling sorry for yourself, looking at everybody else's wins and successes and how they're moving and thinking you never could or you can or coming up with some excuses. You are satisfied in the suffering. So take small, bold steps. Self-care, that's a big word. I'm self-care. I'm self-care. Okay, self-care is more than an external thing. Yeah, you get your hair done, nails done, everything, outfit. Yeah, yes, that's fine. But what are you doing on the inside? What does that look like? How are you getting clear on your mindset, your thought action pattern? Are you paying attention to the things that you think? Do you believe everything that you think? These actions are so important and so valuable to you, and you have the opportunity to do that when you don't, okay, become satisfied in the suffering. Absolutely. I see a comment here that says, I need to encourage myself. Yes. Yolanda Adams told us that in a song back in the mid 2000s, right? Encourage yourself. Seriously, right? If you don't invest in yourself, who else will? If you don't hype yourself up, who else will? Those external validations will come, and it's okay. Everybody likes to be validated and acknowledged, but you have to teach people how to treat you. So if you're going to encourage yourself, if you're going to validate yourself, if you're going to commit to something, then people will commit to you. Yet, if you lie to you, they're going to lie to you too. Okay. And our last one thing is again, check your BS. Yes. Check your BS. I told you that it is a transformational coaching framework. And again, there's a previous episode out here on this podcast about how to check your BS, or are you stuck in your BS? And I take you through the steps. Checking the belief systems that you've created. I define belief system for you and let you know that it is on the foundation of my favorite scripture, which is Romans 12 and 2. Okay. Romans 12 and 2. I'd be ad-libbing it, right? Because yes. Do not copy in the patterns and behaviors of this world. Instead, let God transform you by changing the way you think. Then you shall know what is good and pleasing and perfect in his will. And again, there's some ad libs I pull from different versions. That's the basis of it. So we always want to start with this heart. We want to feel things within our heart. Yet your mind tells your heart how to feel. And so if you're not willing to check your BS, right? Shift your mindset from this fixed clothes, this is how it always is, woe is me, I can never get ahead, beating yourself up, going back, replaying what you should have said, should have done, could have done better, worse, whatever the case may be, catabolic energy, draining, destructive, fear based. You're going to be satisfied in the suffering of that. We must be bold enough to tell ourselves some very difficult truths. Because what did I tell y'all? Oh, just in case you had missed this one, right? Hurt feelings are the gatekeepers to truth. So your feelings might get hurt. You say, ooh, say that again, coach. I said, hurt feelings are the gatekeepers to truth. So when you feel that, then you know that it is time to check your BS because you may be satisfied in your suffering. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So if you feel so inclined, please join me in taking a deep breath in and let it out. Let's take a deep breath in and let it out. And let's do one more deep breath in and let it out. Thank you for joining another week, another episode of Lunch Break Learning with Coach Shaquan. I encourage you to do the following things. Number one, if you're listening to this on the replay or if you're watching live, please go out to the YouTube podcast and like it, comment, share with a friend, please. I want you to drink your water, okay? Always have some water. I haven't had any since this conversation. It's my signature thing. I'm not going to ask you how you're doing because you're going to lie. You're going to say you're good. Huh, sis, you good? I need one to say, sis, you drink your water? But drink your water. And remember to extend yourself grace, right? A lot of the things that you are experiencing are temporary. And you absolutely have the opportunity to shift. You do not have to be satisfied in the suffering. There's greater, there's better, there's more, if you're willing to believe that it's possible for you. So make sure you're following me on these social media platforms. There's a link in the bios to get on the newsletter list because we got some upcoming classes that I'm going to be announcing this week, and I would love for you to join us. So I'm going to go ahead and end this recording. See you all next time. Instagram and Break Room, hang with me.